A mom whose 10-year-old struggled with school, friends, and life in general traveled across the globe to receive help from Brain Balance. Joining us now is Indira and Matthew Cottrell from Australia, along with Dr. Rebecca Jackson of Brain Balance. It's so great to have all three of you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Indira, Matthew is your middle child. What did you notice was not going quite right?
Matthew, from a very early age, had delayed speech. We couldn't understand him. He wasn't able to express himself to us. And as he started school, these problems were picked up at school. And he had difficulty with making friends. And also, when it came to doing homework, he started getting lashing out because he was struggling with homework in general and at his siblings. And we just thought that there's definitely something wrong with Matthew, so we went and did all the tests that we needed to do. And we found out he had autism. He was diagnosed with autism.
So, Dr. Jackson, how were you able to help Matthew?
You know, they reached out to us about a year ago and we started visiting, and we felt like Matthew was a really great fit for our program. Matthew's brain took in information and integrated it, processed it differently than our brains do. So through our testing, we could see that there are regions of Matthew's brain that just weren't as strong and weren't firing the way they were supposed to fire. So Matthew has spent 6 months in our center with us 3 days a week, doing a whole program to really fire and wake up the areas of the brain to turn them on. So he's taking in information more appropriately, and more importantly, so that he can get that information out more appropriately.
So you have been able to help. What kind of changes have you seen?
Matthew, his maturity has come up dramatically. We were laughing on the drive over here, just the vocab words he's using. He wrote a story the other day with words like magnificent and destruction, and he's able to sequence at a more appropriate level. His body coordination and athleticism has really come up. Teachers working with him have said what a great difference in his attention and focus, and those are just a few of the pieces that we've seen in the center.
And what have you seen, Indira?
Oh, I've seen Matthew say things which I'm just amazed that he can actually understand what I can actually understand him now, what he's saying. And also he's more happier than he has been. I've noticed the maturity as well, and he is more active. Like before, he would sit on the couch and he wouldn't actually do any physical activity. Now he's just jumping around all the time and generally very much the child I've sort of thought he should be.
Matthew, do you feel different?
Yeah, very different from what I used to be.
Yeah, how? Can you tell me how?
I feel that I'm better from doing Brain Balance.
Yeah.
And I think they really helped me.
Well, that is so wonderful to hear. And if anyone who is watching, they may be going through something similar, what would you suggest?
You know, as a parent, follow your intuition. If you see things that you have concerns about, follow up on it. There's a great book, Disconnected Kids, for parents to read, and you're always more than welcome to call Brain Balance. We start with a really non-invasive assessment to help to understand how a child's brain is working. But as a parent, you know your child, especially when you have other siblings or play dates, you see those comparables. Trust your gut, and don't be afraid to reach out for help.
And the key with Brain Balance is you are assessing the brain, you're not using drugs.
Correct. So we say that we're a brain-based approach, so we're not treating individual symptoms. We're trying to find out what area of the brain isn't engaging properly so we can change it lifelong going forward. So all the pieces that Matthew gained here at Brain Balance is going to change things for his life going forward.
Well, this is an awesome story, and safe travels back to Australia. And thank you so much for coming in to share that story.
Thank you.
If you or your child is struggling and looking for a non-medicated form of help, check out the Brain Balance Centers. There are 2 locations in the area, Wake Forest and Cary. Visit brainbalancecenters.com.